Redlining.
Welcome back to Redlining. It's been a minute, almost a year, I think, isn't it, Richard?
It has. I can't believe it. We're in a brand new studio.
We're in a brand new studio in a little sweat box at the back of my house, and it's in the garden shed. It's brilliant. It is our new little studio, and it's nice. It's quiet-ish. All you can hear is the sound of rooting cicadas, but that's
classic New Zealand. It's authenticity.
It is authenticity. Speaking of authentic, We've got a very authentic New Zealander right now. We've got Beccie B from the George Breakfast Show. Hey, guys.
Hello. Thank you for having me, team. It's so exciting to be here.
Absolutely.
First one back in a wee while.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it's awesome to be back. And thanks for being the first guest in our new studio.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that fresh construction smell.
It's true, right?
Yeah, it's fresh. It's good.
It's a little woody.
Yeah,
Nice
I like it.
it. Right, let's jump straight into it. So, you've just come back from doing your breakfast show this morning.
Yes.
Yes. So, I'm really interested to know how that's going because that's fairly new for you at the moment, right? The breakfast show.
Very, very new. I think we're only 3 weeks into 2025, and then we only had 6 weeks at the tail end of last year. So, completely fresh show, completely fresh direction, completely new segments. So, we've kept nothing from the old show. Lee is still anchoring, General Lee, and then myself and Surly have come in. So really exciting, a massive opportunity, obviously. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just little bits and pieces. I'm sure you guys know doing media together. Sometimes you can get a bit
So what I really want to know is, are you a morning person?
In my older age, I'm getting to be.
Yeah.
But if I have the opportunity to be a night owl, then I will be a night owl.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So how's that adjustment? Because obviously you did George Nights.
Yeah.
So how's that adjustment going from doing the night show to doing the morning?
It's been all right. I can get up. Getting up isn't the problem. It probably is 2 or 3 o'clock, and then you kind of start crashing a little bit.
Yep.
But it's fun. I really enjoy it. It's nice to have days back. It's nice to have evening back with my friends. I was doing 4 nights a week on George Nights, Monday to Thursday, and you miss out on birthdays. Even just being in the office is amazing, I used to return up to work 5:30, and everyone would be long gone by then. So, super cool to be a little bit more involved in the George community and culture, and you just got to make the most of the day. Yeah. And then when you fade out at 3 p.m, you fade out.
So talk us through a George breakfast morning day. What time are you up?
So I get up, I try to be up by 4:15 at the latest. 4 a.m. is my first alarm. Yeah, very early. I'll go grab a coffee, get sorted, and then I'm in the studio usually by 10 past 5 at the latest. It's pretty flexible. General Lee is always there doing, I reckon he gets there probably 4:45 General. And then, we go through our show sheet. So the day before, after the show, we'll plan pretty much every break. We would never go to air not knowing what we were going to talk about.
Yep.
And so we'll run through that, and that can be anything from our competitions to our story arcs to new music. And usually it's only even a sentence. It's not a big laid out thing. So we'll run through that, fill any gaps, because of course a lot happens in 24 hours as well. So, so fill in any gaps, swap out anything for anything that's a little bit stronger, start finding brand new records or clipping stuff, and then it's live from 6 o'clock. Surly joins us at 6:30, and then
So it's just two of you to start with?
Just two of us for the first half hour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Surly's technically part-time, and then so he's there if you're some of our big listeners of the show have clocked on. So it'll be me and Lee, it's probably till 6:25.
Yeah.
And then Surly hops in at 6:30, and then he's out of there at 9. And then we'll just do that last hour of the show. It's a bit more chill.
So let's lift the lid off radio a little bit, because everyone listens to it, especially morning stuff.
Yeah.
You guys always make it sound like you're making it up as you go along, but you're
I
clearly
know.
not.
So us.
That's the real skill. How far in advance do you prepare a show? Are you a day or two ahead? I know you got to stay pretty relevant, so within 24-hour cycle and stuff. But have you got other writers helping you out? Just giving you keynotes or anything?
No.
Really, it's all
so
you.
we have our content director who is our station lead. That's Dean Campbell. who like half of Jet Ferry, like kind of Kiwi electronic legend from back in the day, George Legend. And then we have our ACD, Abiku Eshin, who's incredible as well, and they'll offer tips and if they've seen something online or, you know, something relevant, and they're doing like our music directing as well. But we'll finish the show at 10 o'clock and then we'll basically go through the show sheet, fill in anything. If we've got any story arcs through the week, we'll make sure we're picking everything up and any new music, or if we know, I don't know, Mall Grab's dropping a tune or something, then we'll make sure we've left a little bit for that. So we'll do that straight after the show. Sweet. And then, but yeah, like I said, it's maybe a sentence. It's not, or even like just the title. So the chat's usually pretty natural.
Yeah. Do you guys have the 8-second protection button? So if someone says something really shit, you don't?
I don't think so. I think we're live. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of radio in the past, and it's there's an 8-second buffer between when you say something. This is especially on ZB. So you have an 8-second buffer. I think it's 8 seconds, might be 7, whatever. And in case something really ridiculous gets said, there's someone in the back going, and I'll cut it.
But isn't ZB more of a chat kind of radio
more reason
show?
to do it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Whereas like with George,
we're quite lucky with George. Like it's
pretty.
I mean, obviously you have to stick within your BSA guidelines and all the rest of it, but we're pretty breezy. Like we can get away with a little bit. Yeah.
So being from England, obviously, I'm sure you know that. Is listening to Radio 1, Radio 2, they're pretty strict with their guidelines. The first time I listened to George and other radio shows, I was like, can they say that?
Well, we're pretty naughty.
And it's not, you get away with quite a lot. And also with some of the tunes you play, I know you give a little message beforehand to say, like, this has got, like, swearing in or whatever. Like, you'd never have that in England.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not until after 7, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you wouldn't play it on, like, the Breakfast Show in Radio 1. They'd bleep it out, probably. But I haven't been back for a while, so maybe they've changed. But, it's all pretty chilled.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky at George. It's pretty relaxed. Like, everything's obviously respectful, but... we can get away with a couple little swears and a little have some raucous chat.
In the last 20 odd years, because back in the 90s, radio was very like no swearing. Song you'd get like radio release versions of songs that had the swear words cut out and all that kind of stuff, especially on like My FM and that kind of thing. And then as the aughts and then the 10s went on, people just fucking this and shit and that. Maybe not blatant fuck, but shit. Just everyone's dropping shit bombs everywhere. Yeah, it changed pretty quick. But also you got podcasts to compete with now too.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Which are very, open slather.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a funny story back in England when, Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, right?
Yeah.
So it was released in the 90s, but they came back sort of in the noughties or maybe later, I can't remember what it was, and they re-released it to try and get competition to get it to number 1 at Christmas instead of the X Factor, because everyone was sick of that. And they did it.
Yeah.
So they went on Radio 1. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they went on Radio 1 and they talked to Zach De La Rocca, the lead singer.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, fine, we're going to sing it. We're going to sing it live for you, right?" So they've promised they're not going to say the bit at the end with the swearing. Yeah, we absolutely promise. So obviously they did, and at the end they were going, they promised us they wouldn't sing that bit. That's brilliant. Anyway, we digress. So. Music policy on George. Do you have an input into what tunes you want to play on breakfast? Being a DJ yourself, obviously, you've got your own sort of tunes that you play, but do you have an input in that?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on the structure of the show and like what we're talking about and all that sort of thing. So there's like a wider George playlist with, heaps of music on it, from your golds to your new tracks to your recurrents to everything, and that's all Dean and Beeks. But then, for example, today, like we were talking about the new Mulgrave remix of Milky. So, of course, we want to like celebrate that record. It's 2 days old. So then we'll like put it directly into the system afterwards, or say, I don't know, someone's released a cool track or anything like that. Then we're like more than welcome to add our spin to it. Yeah. And then it's really important, I think, like especially with somewhere like George, your music taste and your musical ethos is really showing in the guests and like the music news you bring and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the show is definitely us, but sometimes the music padding around it is in more of a George sphere. Yeah.
So how's that different from doing the night show? Because was that more music focused, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting going from nights to breakfast because I'm like a music geek, like especially a Kiwi music geek, especially like underground electronic music. And that was like my real passion, and nights was such an incredible playground to do that because I could talk about music literally every break if I wanted to. I didn't have to talk about myself. I didn't need to. Like, I could just talk about brand new High-End, brand new Kuro, brand new Emily, you know, like, and I was very happy doing that. And then you kind of move into this breakfast role and all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, we do, you know, need to figure out your personality and we need to figure out what you are. Like, half the reason I've got that job, I know, is to bring that musicology a little bit back more into a really funny, content-driven breakfast show. And George is giving me a beautiful platform to do that, and I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, a lot of it's like, okay, but what about you? What did you do in the weekend? And you're like, I don't want nothing in the weekend, you know? It's like trying to kind of pull out weeds of something about you and how you tell stories, and
it's not ZM, guys. Come on.
Well, it's so funny, right? Because like we were just talking about before in the studio, and it's like, you know, radio's gone into this really interesting space where you're still a radio show and it's a radio platform, but you know, you are thinking about when you do a content break, or, you know, hopefully there's funny moments of gold that could potentially go as a reel and like be on a digital media platform and like social media and all the rest of it. So it's very multifaceted in that sense when you're going in to do a break. Like,
I just feel like it's ruining some of the purity of what radio used to be. You're probably a bit too young to remember 90s, not before, you know, social media, where social media is such a big thing for marketing anything now. It's the thing pretty much for marketing anything. So back in the days where radio was radio and, you know, you never saw the DJs. I didn't have a fucking clue what
they
Jeremy
look
Corbett
like,
looked like until he started, you know. Look at Jeremy Corbett.
Oh, sorry.
I had no idea. I had no idea what these DJs look like. This is back in the 90s, by the way, when he was doing 91 FM.
Yep.
All those guys. I had no idea. And then suddenly billboards was the first thing. And then it was like social media and now video. And then it's fascinating. It's strange.
It's so interesting.
Are you on a billboard?
No, not that I know of yet. I've had one Morning People billboard, and we camped. We found out it was happening, and me and my flatmates went there and watched this thing like roll through for 30 minutes, and it just like didn't happen. We were like, maybe I was never on a billboard, but no, not yet. Not that I know of.
Okay.
So tell me about your musical journey. Why did you get into the music that you're into? How did you start? And how indeed did you get into radio?
Loaded. So I'm from Christchurch. I'm from Aotearoa, and no, I love it. I love
Christchurch now. Christchurch is amazing now. I think you go down there, you still have roots down there, right?
Yeah, massively.
It's amazing what they've done with that place.
Yeah.
I really, really like it.
And we're still getting there, which is really cool. Like, there's still so much more to go. But from Christchurch, kind of just met a group of people, friends of friends, who like started going to raves. I went to raves with them. Once upon a time, many moons ago, so I'm a graphic designer and I went to design school, and I ran like art exhibitions that were quite interactive, and so we kind of had like live muralists and like DJs and all that sort of thing. And very, very early on in the days of Notion touring, back then James Inwood and Finn McCool, Finn ended up being half a Flux. Jimmy is still, he's quite in depth with like Hyde and Cream, but also Notion touring as well. We had this big art exhibition on, and I think it was like their second or third rave that ever done at Winnebagos. So this is post-Quake, but like kind of height of that like tech house era, like Pauser and like, when it kind of came back again. And so became really good friends with Jimmy and Finn, and then I just kind of went from there. Like all my friends were DJing, so I just was like, I could learn if you boys are doing it. And then very quickly, Flux had just opened, so it was like this awesome time in kind of this underground Christchurch electronic music scene. I started throwing my own parties called Sugar and Spice, which was basically celebrating like the non-male DJs in the scene, and I ran those for many years, and finally ended up moving to Auckland. And then that was almost 3 years ago now.
What brought the move on?
I was, so in my like graphic design journey alongside of this, I had kind of in and out of full-time jobs that I wasn't 100% in. and I started doing like all the Notion touring posters, and then did a lot of work for Tom Bowie at Wise Fools.
Oh, yeah.
Started doing his sort of stuff, and then basically we're doing a ton of festivals all over Aotearoa and lots of club nights, and just kind of was like, all right, I need to go to Auckland. I need to kind of be a bit more in the thick of it, and then ended up being like one of Audiology's main designers. So like have done Mardi Gras and like branded a lot of those. It's when Audiology had that massive festival boom and kind of popped them up in every rural town. So it was helping like in that branding process.
Yes.
So yeah, I just moved to Auckland, but it wasn't for radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, moved in with Brooke Gibson
Yes.
from George Drive.
Yes.
And it wasn't probably till 6 months later that Night's job came up, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I could have a crack at that." Maybe, I don't know. It was actually Sin talked me into applying for that, which was nice. Yeah, and then before that in Christchurch, I had a show on Aotearoa, but very low bat compared to kind of what I'm doing now. Like it was just a DJ show, so you're just kind of going in there and mixing. Not often are you like.
So how did you make
that?
How did you make that transition from just playing tunes to actually talking? How did you find that? You're quite a bubbly person.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky that it doesn't worry me necessarily. Yeah, I don't mind kind of like talking in a room. Nights is really interesting because it is just you majority of the time. So you don't have this fear almost. It's such a good learning ground. It's such a good training ground. And, you know, like it's just studio time. Like I'd hate to listen to some of my first couple of shows. That'd be so bad. But, you know, the more you practice and the more you do. And I was doing quite a bit for the station. Like I have a Kiwi show on a Saturday night, and then for a little bit there I was doing a Saturday morning show with MC Crafty, and then so it's just those hours where you're getting better and better and better. And like we, myself and Crafty, looked after Drive, where they were doing their amazing European tour, and then so just bit by bit by bit. But, you get there.
Yeah, you might know this, but I always think it's a bit strange. I mean, I do the podcast obviously, but I'm always talking to people. I can't imagine just talking in a room on my own and hoping that people are listening. Oh, I know. I mean, you guys obviously have people listening, but it must be a bit strange when you've got no one to kind of bounce off and you have to keep the conversation up.
I mean,
just imagine you're sitting in a car. I'm in my car talking about.
Do you talk to yourself in the car?
Am I the only one who talks to himself in his car?
Sprung.
I think for me as well, like I was so lucky with nights that you're not talking about yourself, or I didn't have to. A lot of nights hosts do, but on George you don't have to.
Yes.
So I'm more than happy to talk 5 minutes about Emily and that she's from Christchurch and that she's an incredible UKG rising star. Like I could talk about that for 10 if I needed to. So like, it's just finding that. But I find the more you can't think, you have to kind of structure it because you know people are listening, but I can't think about it too much.
Yes.
It wigs me out still a little bit.
Right, okay.
That is the thing, though, right? There is a point where you can't plan too much. You think a little bit too much about things. And then you either come out a little bit disingenuous or you're so busy thinking about what you were thinking about before what you were going to say that you just sort of lose track of conversation, even if you're having a conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, and then at the end of it, it's like, oh, no, buyer's remorse. I wish I said that. I wish I said this. I wish I said that. Yeah, hard out. I couldn't imagine it would be so much easier, I would think, doing bouncing off somebody.
Yes,
on radio.
So much better with three of us in the mornings now. So much more fun. And you can just, like, three is such an interesting group as well because two people gang up on this person and two people gang up on that person, and it's kind of, just way more lively and fun. Yeah. Mornings where it's at.
Have you ever felt like you were the butt of the jokes too much? It's like, come on, guys.
Nah, not really. I think the boys, I know the boys very well now, but I think at the start they might have been not a bit precious with me, but maybe a bit like, oh, we can't fuck it too much. But I mean, like, I give what I can take. So I'm not,
that's
it's a bit more on me now, which is good. Like, you want that. Yeah.
And all the George shows and our podcasts as well, aren't they? So you can listen back. Do you ever listen back to any of your shows and analyse what you do? Or?
No, not yet. I know I should. Not yet. There's sometimes if we have a really, really good show.
Yeah.
And because you know instantly when you walk out of the studio, like,
oh, we're like that.
Yeah,
you're 100%.
Yeah. So far, this one's going. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's good.
We've had some shit once. This was pretty good. Yeah.
Do you guys do separate podcast as well? Like you got your radio show. Do they encourage you to do a podcast on the side?
No, like
some of them do. But
I think if you have your $1 million idea, and I went to Dean and I really wanted to do something, there could be stuff around that. But I mean, I haven't ever like been sat down by MediaWorks and been like, hey, we need you to do a podcast. You're going to do this. We're going to, Yeah,
I know some of them do. Some of, especially the other morning DJs on other channels, which are a little bit more structured, shall we say, and a little bit more, hey, and then they want to do a podcast so they can be a bit more real.
Oh,
you know? But you got, George has always been one of those real, they come across as real and knowledgeable about music and just a little bit more approachable. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So just going back to music, so the first kind of music you got into, electronic music, was that tech house, with the tech house thing going on in Christchurch? Was that the kind of sort of stuff you played to start with?
Yeah, so I, like, definitely all through high school, just Kiwi music, mad, everything from Shapeshifter to Homebrew to just that whole phase, Fat Freddy's Drop, love. And then when I started getting into like electronic music and going to raves, it was a lot of house stuff. But then honestly, we just used to hang out at Winnebago's. I would go there Thursday, Friday. I don't even know how I did it. Would go there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and just hang out almost. And so that could have been like Tony's Bass Freaks gigs. There was a lot of Cream stuff. So it didn't really matter if it was drum and bass or if it was house. But I do think, especially back then, I mean, still to this day, Christchurch has this impeccable taste in dance music. And it's just that little bit more underground. And it's only due to the promoters probably down there that have been, that have been doing it for years as well. And so I definitely feel like I kind of grew up raving with great raves. Just like very well curated raves. Like the drum and bass, a lot of it's like a bit more dark and minimal. It's not, there's still obviously like a jump up scene now and all the rest of it, but like pretty classy drum and bass most of the time. Pretty classy house most of the time, very lucky.
As far as venues are concerned in Christchurch, are the venues staying consistent, or are there venues closing, venues opening? Because there's a little bit of a shift in Auckland where quite a few venues have closed recently. New venues have popped up as well. Is that the kind of transition happening in Christchurch?
I mean, I wasn't around pre-Quake, so I can't speak on what we had, which I've heard only incredible things. But majority of the time we've only ever had like 2 specific dance music venues. So, I mean, like I was saying, there was like Strangers Lane and Winnie's for a little bit, and then there was like a pool room that used to get turned into big rave hall, and then, we make do what we got in Christchurch, and there's like been lots of little bits and pieces pop up or something a bit more bespoke every now and again. Flux was massive for me. Like I would be there pretty much every Friday, Saturday night. I'd run shows, I'd play a lot. Hyde was also just as big. Hyde's still ticking along, which is great.
Nice.
They've opened up a venue next door, which is, I think it's an Indian restaurant. It's called The Mud, but they sometimes do like double venue nights there. So it's like a big, beautiful outdoor courtyard. Beretta it used to be way back in the day.
Nice.
So you can do kind of, but it's pretty dire. It's hard. There's a few live music spaces, but I know they're really struggling as well. So
Auckland struggles because it's just so expensive. It's so expensive to do anything here.
100%.
To be able to rent the space, or to be able to be a landlord owning the space and paying mortgages. It's so expensive to have a decent spot in Auckland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. People are trying to like do things outside of Auckland, like where did we go? East Tamaki that time. Random factories getting converted into music thing, but they die. Because no one can get out there, and you can't drink and drive.
$50 Ubers and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's too much. Minimum.
Even like I find it interesting because I've done a little bit of promoting as well, and by the time you get a low to mid tier artist for 3,000 maybe New Zealand dollars landed, and then that instantly bumps your break even to 150 people. That's without sound. That's without and. Even that's hard because, it's just obviously promoting as a gamble no matter what. And shout out to the people that do it. Like,
Ramesh, shout out to you.
Yeah, it's wild. But, I don't just hard when you're promoters are like, wow, if my break even is 100 tickets, this is going to have to be a $40 ticket. You know, and like,
and then
I never would have, like, you know, even I look at that and I'm like, whoo, that's hefty. Shit.
It's hard, isn't it? Because there's a lot of promoters out there wanting to put on good gigs. They have to charge a certain ticket price, but because, you know, people don't want to pay that, because on top of that, you got drinks and everything. And then there's a lot of choice, especially in the summer, there's a lot of choice with festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is hard. But
and it's tricky getting gigs down here as well, because New Zealand's the butt end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
And it's getting more and more
stuff,
expensive for them to come over. We were talking to someone recently who does promotions, and they were saying it just costs so much money, even to come from Australia to here.
Wow.
If they come with their own entourage and all this sort of stuff, the prices are just going up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've got gigs and stuff closing down all over Australasia now. You know, Splendor in the Grass is gone, Splor's leaving.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of stuff.
So, okay, so a couple of questions on that. I won't get too political.
Here we go.
But, yeah. So, Ultra Festival, obviously coming here in the next couple of months. And then we've also got festivals who are saying it's their last festival, like Splor and stuff. Do you think the government can do more to the hospitality and electronic music and festival scene here?
I mean, short answer, yes, of course. I don't know enough about that grant that both Splor and Ultra had applied for. And I mean, there's a part of me that's heartbroken for Splor, but a part of me does understand from like people. I mean, Wellington lost homegrown. Someone's come along and said they can get 30,000 people into the city or whatever it might be. I don't know the capacity of that. And I can see how that's attractive for a government subsidy, especially in the seat of a government in their capital that doesn't have a big dance music event currently. So I do understand that. Can the current government do more? Of course they can. Like, they're just arts were thrown out the window. Like, like, yes, yeah. But was that the right maybe grant for them? Is there other avenues? Then yeah, probably. I think there's probably other ways we can get around it. Yeah.
And as far as Ultra is concerned, good thing for New Zealand?
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's really cool. I think anything on that, it's like the Fred again thing. Like, I sat and, sorry, this is kind of a side rant, but same vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Fred again play to 10,000 people in Spark Arena playing a dubstep record, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is, and every single person in that room, they didn't even know they were listening to dubstep.
Yeah.
They just, you know, and it was heaving. And I was like, this can't be a bad thing for dance music culture. And like, Ultra is kind of much the same. Like, if they can sell that many tickets and that many people can go and enjoy dance music, heartbroken it's not Splor at another festival that maybe deserves it and isn't a multi-million-dollar brand, you know?
Yes.
But you hope long-term that trickles through the rest of the community. Like, I always use myself as an example. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the first records I ever Shazammed was a Fisher tune.
Right.
And then it was like a culture shock tune, you know? And I don't listen to either of those people anymore. Yeah. And that was the very, very start of a musical journey for me. And now I'm so in depth into not that, you know, everything but that almost. So it's like, I mean, that might be a bit of a bright side cup half full way of looking at it. But shit, if you can get 30,000 people raving, then you hope that filters through into a club situation. Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's a great way of looking at it. I didn't actually look at it like that. But yeah, if you can introduce people to the kind of, it sounds disrespectful, but the entry level of dance music, then maybe that begins their journey.
And some of those artists on Ultra are like pretty underground. Like, some of them are not, obviously. Some of the pop acts that potentially play on more of like a pop station if we're talking radio hit.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones, like, I mean, I don't know who they are, and when you Google them, you're like, oh god, okay, that's 150 BPM techno, you know, it's not pop music, so interesting,
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I think a lot of it's education, though. Like, we need to be educating the next level, because there was that gap during COVID where obviously people couldn't go out. Remember that? And,
wild.
And we've come well through that now. But now there just needs to be an education about music and about how music works, because people are getting so distracted with other stuff. And algorithmically, you know, Spotify is controlling what a lot of people listen to, even though we like to think we're getting fed new stuff all the time. We're fucking not. And I mean, there's only so many classical songs I can listen to. But you know, there's a lot of, we need to create, you're right, you need to have these big events that get people curious and get people having a good time. And not necessarily, the music might be middle of the road, but still, you know, bouncy. But creating that vibe, and then it just starts them on that track. Starts them on, you know, let's just start on some drum and bass. And then we'll move on to the next thing, get the youth into it again, get them away from their PlayStations. And actually, listen to me grumpy old. But yeah, educating. You can't bat them on the head and say, come to this now and pay $100. No, you've got to start small, educate, and then get them into the small clubs and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. But I think we're still on that learning curve. We're still starting.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's like 6 in one, half dozen in the other. You could argue with the exact theory that I said. It's like, I know when I kind of started raving, I might have been going to like Rhythm and Alps and maybe one festival, maybe Electric Ave or something back then. But I feel like I wasn't offered 10 festivals in my city any given summer, or 30 festivals nationwide, more so probably now. And so I do understand that that's oversaturation, but that price point is so much higher. So maybe the average punter is missing out on those club experiences just because they don't have that sort of money. So it's like, like I said, 6 in one, half dozen in the other.
But the big gigs they're not stopping, but they're definitely a lot of cancelling now. Like some bigger ones, they're just dying up because they're just too expensive to do. And there's an opportunity now for the clubs to come along and say, hey, we've got this other thing. Don't pay $300, pay 20.
Yeah.
You know, lose your face, have a good time, and crack into it. There is that opportunity now, and it's been quite prevalent over the last 3 years because it's just got too expensive.
Yeah.
And we're just seeing them drop. The big gigs are dropping like flies. Still want those big gigs.
Yeah.
Maybe not 3 days.
And dance music is the biggest it's ever been. Yeah. You know, like George is in a fantastic position right now, and like when you look at some of the stats, like Rufus the Soul was the biggest dance music show that New Zealand's ever seen.
Is that right?
And
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Maybe check me.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
But then the one before that, I think there was 25,000 people at Fisher.
That was
huge.
12 months before, you know, we just had another 25,000 people at Fisher. And yes, okay, it might not be particularly underground, but it's massive. Like Worship is going to do absolute numbers in Auckland Domain. It's some of the biggest production of dance music shows you've ever seen, you know? So, like, there's an audience for it, but it's how now it's a conversation, and I don't have the answer for this, but how do you capture that? How does an underground market make the most of it? And I think it's up to people like me and us
but also I think going back to talking about the education of it all too, the age gap is massive now. Not gap as in like there's a gap of deadness in the middle. Like electronic music ranges from 18 to fucking 65.
Oh, yeah.
Like hard. And you got all these almost grandparents. They should be handing down that knowledge and handing down those records. I think there's going to be the boom is going to expand organically, but we can't rely on that, obviously. But if it's organically going to grow, then that's, again, where clubs and stuff need to like take the opportunity. And parents, take your kids out.
Go agreed. Hard. Yeah,
you know?
Take your kids to the clubs, show them what's up.
But it's interesting because I think music hasn't, I don't mean this in a negative way, music hasn't really developed as much as it did, say, from the 50s to the 80s or from the 60s to the 80s. You know, there was this huge jump from the Beatles to, you know, the type of music it was. But since the 90s to now, not a huge difference. Different tastes and all that.
It's
but the qualities
come back around, right?
You can listen to Goldie now from '95 and think that was made yesterday.
Yeah, and it's cooler than ever.
Yeah,
you know, if you're getting into dance music and you come across Goldie, like that's the coolest thing you could probably find within your first 3 months of being a jungle head. Like, and even just the sounds of like 4/4, like it's obviously gotten into way more hard dance.
Wow, yes.
Like, you know, it's just faster, but it's just like, I can't even I feel like every big 4/4 record is sampling something from the 80s or the 90s, you know? So it's quite interesting to see.
So just out of curiosity, so your music at the moment, so what kind of music do you play out at the moment then? Or is it all sorts kind of thing?
No, not necessarily. Like it's all 4/4.
Yeah.
A little bit of UKG. It really depends on the party and the audience.
Are you kind of embracing this new breed of electronic producers that it is house music, but it's house music at 135, 136, 137,
I think
the BPMs
more so
ramped
the
up.
last couple of years. So I mean, long story short, started as a disco tech house kind of that slower. Like I remember playing shows and being like, oh, I couldn't possibly go over 125 BPM opening. Like I would imagine that. Like absolutely not. And I think there's another thing that Christchurch really like instilled in me, like good DJ culture almost, and like etiquette and all the rest of it.
Are you talking about respect for the who's coming after you?
Just coming after you, or just like creating a night, man. You know, like so many kids.
It's not all about you.
But, you hop on at 11 or 12 o'clock and you're like, well, you left me on 145. Oh my God.
We've had this conversation before on the DJs.
Man, it's so painful.
But I think now more than ever, I'm probably retracting back from that. So I'm going like, my perfect set would be like 130 house, maybe like 128 up to 135. But I can take it where it needs to go, and it just depends on the audience as well. Like if I'm playing a R&B, we're probably playing a little bit faster than that. It's going to be way more edits. It's going to be something that's like the people getting into dance music can relate to. But if I'm opening for one of my favourite headliners in Neck of the Woods or something, or even like 5 p.m. outdoor set, oh, that's the dream. Nice how, nice how, it's completely dependent. But I'd say probably I'm like a 120 to 140 baby.
So what producers are you digging at the moment, both Kiwi and internationally?
My big three right now is Not Without Friends, and they are from Australia. So that's Jordan Brando, Luke Alessi, William Kiss. All very different sounds. Luke Alessi had like a big beatport hit last year. William Kiss, I actually found through Peggy Goo. He's signed to Goo's label. Yeah. And then Jordan Brando, we've just known forever. Like Notion Touring has toured him a million times, but they've got a bit of a trio and they're just making beautiful house music. Like just a little bit grunty, sounding really delicious. That's probably like my favourite sound, I would
could almost
say.
taste it where she was describing it.
Yeah, I know. That's great, really. There's a real DJ for you there.
Passion.
Kiwi-wise, I think the scene that I am most probably passionate about, especially as like a broadcaster, is this really bubbling, appropriately named NZG scene at the moment. There's so many cool little record labels like popping up that are really exciting and on an international level, and really competing with the big boys, to be honest. So an incredible artist, Emily from Aotearoa, I think she's 23 and she's done Aussie tour. Junie just finished his Australian tour, and they're making big hits. High End, Kuru, like there's reason there's actually so many of them, and it's a really, really exciting scene to watch. Not necessarily like a part of it, but like I mean I don't produce, but like they're just constantly pushing each other and getting collabs and finally getting little like beatport moments or whatever it may be, which is really exciting to see. I just will always love Booker and Dick. Like I just think that absolute legends. They make beautiful tunes. I think what they've done, looking back at their career, you're just like, shit, you can't argue with that, eh? Like if I could have any form of legacy, and it would look like theirs, I would be over the moon.
Two guys I really want to get on the show.
There we go, name.
Yeah, you should.
Please reply to me.
Have you dabbled in producing?
Bits and pieces. I actually did a little course with Booker, which was really fun.
Cool.
I definitely have a lot of like eggs in a lot of baskets. And I mean, it's probably just the curse of producing as well. You know exactly how you want to do it. Am I willing to put 5 years into the sound that I want to make? Probably not at this point. Like I really would want to see the broadcasting thing work, and if that's how I leave my legacy. And I'm not too worried about DJing. Oh, not DJing, producing. Yeah.
So how I know it's early days at the moment because you've only been at the breakfast show for 3 weeks. How are you balancing the DJ life with the early mornings at the moment?
All good. I'm quite lucky. I feel like I was almost at a point, like I'm 31 now, so I still got a little bit of life left in the tank, but also not you know, like
Shut up.
I know, I know that there was almost 10 years of my life where I was going out and all bloody weekend, to be honest, and I'm definitely like retired from that, and I'm happily go to neck of the woods if there's something sick on or the rest of it, but it's not necessarily, I'm just getting a little bit old. But you know, like I'm very, very lucky. I get lots of festivals, which is really cool, but with the music that I play, like I don't necessarily need to be late either. Like I give me the 5 p.m. I'm so happy with the 5 p.m. And even the club shows, like I would rather open than close. Like
we noticed a lot that the crowd that we sort of hang with, maybe the age, I don't know, but even like they all prefer early nights, you know, like not like, I'm not saying like they're all old and they want to go to bed.
Because the babysitter.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just like a lot of people like late night raving is kind of.
Myself and Cam Bav from Bav Who last year, we started a series called Ra the Sun series, and it was a series of day parties around Tamaki Makaurau, and it was just house music.
Nice.
And it was so cool because the way the scene's changed even in 12 months, but when we started it, like we just had absolutely no bookings or reason or to play house at 10 p.m. at Neck of the Woods, like because the scene had gotten so fast.
Yes.
And I think it's actually retracted back quite a lot now, which is great to see. House is so back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did a series of day parties called Ra all around. I think we did 6 of them. And that was awesome. Yeah.
That's
like
right.
that was, the whole thing was like bed by midnight.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was so cool. So they were just like 3 till 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's
You can't beat a night like partying in the daytime, you know, especially when the weather's good in the summer.
Yeah. It can get too hot though. We did Sunsetter on the weekend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really good. But mate, from about 1 o'clock till 4:30, too hot to get out on the dance floor. Everyone's like hiding for dear life under the trees like vampires. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, hard.
But I think going like 11 o'clock is a good cutoff. I reckon.
Yeah.
Just you're just starting to get into it. 9 o'clock, you're getting on the groove, and then 11 o'clock, I need to go to bed. Or give me an espresso martini and I'll carry on. Yeah.
Depends on the rave.
Yeah. So how often are you DJing now?
Quite a bit still, to be honest. Like, what have I got? I've got a show on Thursday at Neck of the Woods, which will be really fun. So I definitely try to still do club shows. Like, I think it's really, they're my favourite shows to do. Like, it's not only important, but it's like, that's fun. Fun as. So I've got a club show, and then I've got a couple of festivals all around.
Sweet.
Feb and March. So Two Minds, Baseline. What else have I got? Symphony.
When's Symphony? Sorry, what's the date on that? End of Feb?
7th of March, maybe?
Really?
Was it March? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll check it out.
I'm sure people can Google it.
They can. Hey, I'm just planning my next couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, getting married.
Pick your battles. Getting married on the 7th of March. That would not be
that's
there.
it.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe, I don't know when it is.
Should do.
Yeah, you should have loads.
Imagine that.
Get married and then, okay,
Maybe
see
it's
everybody.
the 21st.
I don't think it is the 7th.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
no, I think it's the 25th. I don't know. I should know. I've got a calendar. But yeah, so I'm really like super fortunate. I still get a ton of festival bookings, which is amazing. Like, that's just all you could ever ask for.
Yeah.
But yeah, try to do a little bit of club stuff. We're not doing Ra this year just because Cam had a baby and I had this new job, and it was just like the likelihood of pulling off a 6-date day party was just not happening this year, but we really want to bring it back. But
I think you've just got to find that balance of not pushing yourself too much, giving yourself too much to do. I mean, like with the DJing and the breakfast show, I mean, that already sounds like plenty. Do you still keep up with the graphic design or?
Bits and pieces. Like I've just recently done Baseline Festival in Dunedin, but it's pretty picky work. Like
I'm sure
done a little bit of stuff for an artist called Morgan Seatree, who's pretty big overseas at the moment, but I'm in a very, very fortunate position where I can kind of pick and choose all that. I do a bit of work, not music related, but Jamie from Morning People does a lot of stuff for like Under Interesting Things, so I do like a lot of his external to music stuff sometimes, which is really fun. But yeah, little bits and pieces. I like to have an array of things going
well, that's fine.
on.
That's fine,
I'm really bad at kind of like doing nothing. Like I just sit there and I'm like, okay, what's
Well, I think you've been doing pretty well so far, so I think
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
So where would you like to be? Like, you're in this position now. Your career trajectory has just taken a fairly nice organic route. Have you planned anything ahead where you think you would like to be later on? Or are you just going with the flow, man?
Man, I just gone with the flow for the last 10 years and it's got me here, so it's all good. I think now, like, breakfast for me was a really massive moment of, like, shit, if you don't take stock, you just go for the next thing. And I'm really happy here. And like I see, I mean, depending on contracts and ratings and all the rest of it, like I'd love to be on that show for, 10 years before you kind of move on to the next thing or whatever that may be. But honestly, no idea. I love curation. Like I love music curation. That's kind of probably where my passion lies more than anything. Not necessarily in radio. Like I just love curating gigs. I love creating features. I love, like doing that sort of thing. So if there was anything to be like in that space, I think it would be really exciting.
Yeah.
But plans for it, no. Like, once I got breakfast, I was like, okay, just enjoy it for a little bit, because it's not like I haven't enjoyed the last 10 years. Like I've loved every bloody minute, but I'm very, very guilty of being like, cool, tick, and then you just go into the next thing and you don't realize the shit you've managed to do. Yeah.
From an industry perspective, and we touched on shitty COVID, but and obviously everything stopped. And now, do you think we're on an upward trajectory when it comes to this industry? Can we do more to increase this industry or get it better? What do you feel the future might hold for it?
Ooh, is this in a generic sense or in more of like an underground space?
I would say, well, let's go with both. Let's go with an underground space first.
Yeah, I think we can always do more for the underground. I think it sometimes gets a little bit forgetting what that is. I mean, that's like a conversation between promoters, owners of venues, and then, trying to get, like I said before, people like us talking to that community and being like, okay, well, what do they actually want to see at the club? Does it need to be earlier? Is it a thing of different spaces, whatever it may be? What are people going to come out for? And, what's a price point and all that conversation. So, I mean, we can always do more for the underground. Do I see it growing? I mean, I hope so. You just don't know. No. Like I've promoted, and it's the sort of thing like you'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do that show, and then it sells out and you're like, hell yeah, and then you get another offer on your desk and you're like, this is going to do so well, and then you are like begging people to come to your rave that week, like you just can't pick it. So I'm not going to pick that, but I hope it increases. And like we said before, like in a generic sense, like dance music is bigger than ever right now, and yes, okay, it might be a bit more on a pop spectrum and it might be a bit generic for your average underground person, but you hope like how that filters through and it just is good for the entire community.
And finally, do you ever see yourself going abroad and DJing abroad or doing anything?
I would love to DJ, but I don't think it's my goal. And I've witnessed really good friends of mine achieve that and do that, and it is incredible, but it's not. I look at it and like, for me right now, like if I can do 5 to 10 years on breakfast, I'll be stoked. Like that's kind of the main thing right now. And if that comes with maybe potentially a little bit more international recognition and I can like go off and do that, then I would never say no to that 100%. But right now my goal isn't like, okay, what can I do to get there? Yeah.
So if Idris Elba comes along and says, will you open for me at Ibiza, you're not going to say no.
Oh, God, like, no. I'd be like, me?
Morning what? Breakfast who?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the beauty of George as well. Like every single person pretty much, other than Surly, but he's our sports guy, but every other host on that station DJs. And that damn good DJs, and it only like you only have to look at Sin and Brooke, like their international success is only benefiting the station by a million miles, like massively. It's given us 1,000 street credit points, but also like their show and we're very, very lucky. We were in a position like I would never say no to a show because of work, and my boss gives me that flexibility. Like I know I could play on a Friday night in Christchurch. That meant missing the show, or I could go from Christchurch or so on and so forth. So
do you find working on, sorry, funny. Do you find working on George has obviously increased your profile and got you more gigs?
Yes, absolutely. Like, I think now more so on breakfast as well. Definitely profile wise. Gigs, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't. Yes and no. There's obviously like the odd thing in festivals, but before George, I was like still a festival touring DJ. So I'd like to think that if anything, it's maybe profile, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like, I can't imagine, I don't know, you take a festival like Electric Ave or Homegrown or whatever it might be, and of course that adds to the, like, it's my career. The minute I got the George job, I was like, shit, I'm a DJ for a job, I'm a broadcaster, but like that's my role. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
it sounds to me as a DJ that you're very passionate about music and you're very authentic when it comes to the music you play. So which is amazing. I really hope you carry on down that path, which is where DJ should be for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you very much for coming along here and
thank you
sharing
for having
your experience with us. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I love the new studio, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, it's cool. Thanks for breaking it in.
Yeah.
I think it might need some aircon. It's a little bit warm. It's a little bit toasty. But no, thank you very much for coming along, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure that we come to some of your live gigs sometime.
Yeah, please do.
Cool.
Thank you,
Cool.
team.
Thank you.
Thank you.